Welcome to the Near Memo, a weekly conversation about search, social, and commerce. What happened, why it matters, and the implications for local.
The last thing we probably should mention, just because it was huge news yesterday or earlier this week, no, it was not Claire Carlisle joining Jepto, although that was big news. But there was a major acquisition. SEMrush acquired the parent company of Search Engine Land, Third Door Media, and its associated Search Engine Land and Martech world, and they operate, half a dozen sites and conferences. So it appears SEMrush acquired all of those. There's certainly been some, I think, concern in the industry based on my reading of LinkedIn yesterday that, we were losing a sort of an independent voice, and what's going to happen to if everybody's sort of shilling for SEMrush, it's a massive affiliate play or whatever. I'm not sure I necessarily share that. I think that the quality of Search Engine Land, maybe it's just the fact that we've become so focused, but I'm not sure that the quality is, and I'm not sure that it's been the hub that we all remember it as in sort of the late aughts and early teens. It's not been that for quite some time, at least for us. And so I think from a strategy standpoint, it actually does make sense for SEMrush. I have no idea what they paid for it and whether there's good value here, but just another top of funnel, possibility and another place to sort of leverage to sort of put the SEMrush brand in front of potential customers. Does seem to make a lot of sense. The domain authority of Search Engine Land has to be astronomical. So kind of any research or any thought leadership that SEMrush wants to put out, I'm sure on Search Engine Land, I'm sure it will outrank everybody else pretty quickly. So I think that makes, it made sense to me. I guess I'm maybe not as sad as others to kind of see Search Engine Land kind of changing ownership, but yeah. What's that? You're not going to say anything. Okay.
I'm not going to divulge my deepest, darkest thoughts on this matter,
Sure.
But I would say that over time, Search Engine Land has, a lot more sponsored posts, a lot more catering to their big contributors.
Yep. Well, and the other thing is,
lost a lot of good writers over the years. There's still some great writers there, and it'd be interesting to see if Barry gets a pay raise.
Yeah, right.
But, it's an interesting play, and it doesn't, I think Moz demonstrated how you could run an effective associated media with a product and do it with integrity. I think Moz model was a very good one. And I think, so it is possible, and it is possible because it depends on whether they view the funnel as informational or transactional, right? Mm-hmm. And how much they monetize or how much they focus on each of those. If they take an informational approach the way Moz typically did, then I think it can be really positive. If they take a more transactional approach, trying to convert everybody, that's, really problematic, and we'll see. And it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Probably is somewhere in the middle. I guess my last comment would just be that, I think maybe part of the reason that Search Engine Land sort of has fallen off for us as a sort of primary destination is that we're now like well-established practitioners, and a lot of the content and topics that they discuss are really geared for more beginner and intermediate level folks. And that may be, if that's the sort of audience that SEMrush is hoping to attract more and more and more of, it seems like a doubly smart play. I'm not sure. I have no idea what the enterprise SEO tool space looks like. What the market share of Bright Edge versus Conductor versus Botify versus SEMrush, right? I have no idea what that enterprise space looks like. But if SEMrush is going after the kind of mid tier and below, I do think this makes a lot of sense from an audience standpoint. So,
yeah, I'd love to see the numbers. Love to understand the multiple and understand the subsequent employment contracts.
Right. They are a public company, so I wonder, how much investors can pressure them into sharing some of that stuff. But not sure we're going to see that.
Show up. So, take a look at their 10Ks or whatever they're called.
Yep.
All right.
So anyway, congrats to the Search Engine Land team. Like, I share your hope and optimism that Barry Schwartz at least got a little bit of a pay raise or equity cash out as part of this. He's been a tireless journalist and chronicler of our space forever, and just a great guy. So hope Barry did well as part of this.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this week, and next week we'll be back, and I think we'll have a guest speaker. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening. Yeah.
And if you get a chance, sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already.
Thanks for joining David, Mike, and Greg. To stay on top of the latest developments in local, subscribe to our newsletter at nearmedia.co. We'll see you next week.